Hi, I'm Eli. I'm Scottish. I have a job as a software developer in Madrid, and normally I live there. Then, the pandemic happened. So I went home. I moved back to Scotland. My original plan was to go home for 2 weeks. Then 6 months passed. Then my company called. They said for tax purposes I had to come back to Madrid. So I booked a flight, tried to ignore all the very stressful headlines about Madrid, and came back. So this is the story of how I moved to Madrid, aka, at least at the time of recording, the epicenter of the European pandemic. Alright, let's talk about initial first impressions, shall we? Being back originally was very stressful, very surreal in a way. Before I left, I had walked the streets so confidently, but now I was using my map every time I went anywhere. It reminds me a lot of when you hang out with a friend that you haven't seen in a while, and then you realise whilst hanging out with them that you both changed a lot, and it makes you question if you want to continue the friendship. Honestly, in the first few days, I just wanted to go home. I really didn't feel like being in Madrid, I wasn't in the right mindset.
There was a time where I definitely think I could have seen Madrid and Spain as somewhere I would love to live forever, but I think in the pandemic I just don't feel like that anymore. I feel like I just want to be around my family, I want to be close to them, so 2020 has definitely been a year of sort of self-reflection and learning maybe. I feel as though at the start of 2020, I really thought that I was such a city person and that I loved the cities and that was where I always wanted to live. And I do think the cities are amazing, but I also feel that I don't think I want to live in them anymore. The amount of people, how many housing there are, it used to feel cute and really sweet, and it still is, but right now it just feels kind of overwhelming and almost claustrophobic with how many people there are. And no matter where you are, you always hear noises of somebody else. If you are trying to sleep, you hear the noises from outside, So I guess living in the countryside for the past 6 months has really made me appreciate kind of, I guess, a more like uninhabited way of living. Yep. Any problem with my socks?
I just want to clarify. You're going to wear those and you expect me to tell people I'm friends with you.
If you're ashamed, you can go away.
Let's clarify that Ellie's wearing, inverted socks because she doesn't have short socks, so they're inverted, one of them is, and then she's not matching one. So what are you saying, okay? What are you saying? Nothing.
I moved to Madrid pretty involuntary. I was given about 10 days of notice and the ultimatum of come back or lose my job. I really like my job, so I didn't want to lose it, but at the same time I also didn't really feel like moving to the epicenter of Europe in the middle of the second wave. Yeah, I know, I'm just weird like that. I couldn't decide what I wanted to do, but I was running out of time to make a decision, so I booked a flight, came back and decided that I would try it for a few weeks in Madrid, and then after that decide what I wanted to do. I was lucky enough to be able to stay with 2 friends, worked from their house, and split my time between flat searching and flight searching. Indecision is more than just a lifestyle choice, it's a way of life. In the end, I think my decision to stay in Spain came down purely to the fact that I managed to sign a 6-month flat contract before I panicked and bought myself a ticket home. So now I'm living alone in a studio apartment. There are some days when I wish I'd managed to panic buy a flight before locking myself into a 6-month contract. For example, the day it was announced that Madrid was going into a second lockdown. This lockdown feels different though. This lockdown feels more like when the dome was dropped in Springfield in the Simpsons movie, opposed to the dome being dropped on your own house. I can still see friends, I can still go to the office if I want to. Overall, I'm really excited to be back in Madrid, and I'm pretty excited to spend at least the next 6 months here.